What is going on, traders? Clay here with Top One Trader, and let's get into the weekly outlook video for the week. So, as always, I usually start with the calendar. Forex Factory is a great resource just to know the data and upcoming events for the week ahead of time. It's super important. When you've been doing this long enough, you know that the first week of every month is NFP, right? So we're not today, but this week is NFP week. Usually before Monday, Tuesday, a little choppy, and we start seeing some more solid movement going into Wednesday numbers, and then of course volatility on NFP. Sometimes it's a duds. You just honestly never know. So looking into Monday, we got some ISM, manufacturing, CPI on Tuesday. Now this is always interesting, I think, with the Bank of Japan. It's not like an interest rate decision or anything like that, but whenever you see something from Bank of Japan, it's worth, especially if you like trading the yen. I like trading the yen a lot, so it's worth taking note of for sure. So that's something to keep your eye out for. And then things gonna pick up steam on Wednesday because we have Bank of Canada rate statement 9:45, 8:15 ADP non-farm employment change. So I think that, especially for Canadians, going to be a big deal. We'll take a look at UCAD. And then Friday we got Canadian employment, unemployment, of course, NFP, and unemployment for the US. So it's going to be a pretty big day. So getting into the charts, got the 4-hour time frame pulled up here. And let's take a look. Since I mentioned the yen, we kind of, in some of these yen pairs, trending downward, I guess you would say, but really kind of holding steady, especially when you look at Aussie, Canadian, New Zealand, these commodity currencies. And actually, this looks pretty interesting, like inverted head and shoulders. I don't know, you guys see that? So maybe we'll get a pop off here going into the week. Euro, pound, they're all in similar areas. Now, UJ is kind of doing its own thing. Same thing with the dollar. So let's take a look at the dollar index, right? And it's looking pretty bearish. We're back below the 200 simple moving average here. So something to keep in mind. Now, if we look at dollar Swiss, looks very similar, right? It's pretty much the same chart. But like you can see, this downtrend that we've been, of course, this was on the back of, a lot of tariffs and all the news going on with Trump. And let's face it, the market's just way more volatile right now, So whether that's a good or a bad thing, volatility is good because it moves the market. But man, if you're on the wrong side of it, it can be super painful, as we're all aware. So dollar CAD making some moves lower. So this will be interesting too to see if we, by the time Bank of Canada comes around, we break this level of support, this zone that we're trading in right now. I mean, you can trace this thing back to all the way here, right? All the way to where it was resistance. So this is a huge level. And then below that, we have the next level that is much further, coming in at 3,500. So I mean, I think that could be a pretty good potential target, moving forward. So, but dollar CAD's one of my favorite pairs to trade, and I think it's what I'm going to be focusing on this week, especially with NFP, the Bank of Canada, and then Friday, as always, you have NFP, but you also have Canadian unemployment, which is going to be huge, and I think it's going to be a super volatile week, and that we might see some good moves out of dollar CAD. So that being said, everybody, let's have a great week. And man, my mouse is stuck. I don't know. There it goes. Let's have a great week. We appreciate y'all at Top One. and can't wait to see y'all's names on the Funded Trader leaderboard. Peace.